Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Matt's Let's Build a Cathedral. Now, I've started time-lapsing this because I realised I could get more built in a shorter period of time on a video than I would in 20-minute segments. So, for a 20-minute segment, you're now seeing about 4 to 5 hours worth of me building rather than just 20 minutes, which is much easier to do. It means I can spend a day, a half a day, an evening building, time-lapse it and record it, and you guys get to see more progress faster, which means we can do more builds more quickly. Now, this is what I've built over the course of the videos, what you're looking at right now, but in a second we're going to jump back to when I started doing my time-lapse and recording, so you guys can see what I've done in terms of progress. So this is the end result of my building session that I had. This took like a week to build, by the way. I was doing it in like hour segments throughout the week after work and stuff. So let us know what you think down below in the comments, and let's get into this build right now. Okay, so here we are back at the beginning of the build session. So I've started off by basically building a pillar, so I know where the beginning of the tower is going to start for the right side, and then I've started filling in the walls that we'd left off from last episode, where we started building the 2 front doors. So that's where I started off, and I couldn't really decide on what colour brick to use, so I think I went with nether brick at this point, just basically because it was something that contrasted the grey brick that I was already using. But one of the greatest things for this build right now is going to be world edit. I can just copy and paste things so quickly and build them easily. Like with this tower, I'm posting the pillars around the 4 points of the tower just simply, which would take me 20-30 minutes to build each one by themselves without world edit, and I can do it in 20 seconds or less. It's fantastic. So I've basically built 4 really chunky pillars at the bottom, and then I've gone in, I think here I'm adding in the wall, and now I've started building in slightly thinner columns because I obviously want the tower to taper up or taper in as it climbs up. You can't quite see me, but I'm above the screen now and I'm flying around like an idiot. Here we go. I'm now adding in the staircase. The thing is, I'm weird. I'm adding in the stairs as I go round the building and build it, just so that I've got a level to know where from, well, I would say the base of the building is in terms of the stair level or plateau. Up is where my base is. So ground 0 is at the top of the stairs for me. So that's what I call point 0, and up is where I start. So anything below the stairs I don't count as part of the building. I count my measurements from the stairs and above. So that's why I'm always going back and adding in stairs throughout the video at different parts. It's a little trick. Especially with world edit, you can just copy and paste them over and over again, and it saves you so much time. Now I've actually copied the entire tower across to the left side, so the building is symmetrical. That's a really, really good part about this, is you can just copy and paste stuff. I think I've already said that, but still. Now I'm going into the window and I'm trying to add more detail and a lot of ideas as I go, and add things. And obviously I've gone back here to the middle to sort of add in some decoration stuff. I'm trying to make this really detailed. Unlike my last builds, I've done cathedrals before on my channel. They weren't as good as this one, I don't think. I really like the look of this one already, and I've barely finished it. Now I'm trying to add in some more accents and sort of break up these large amounts of grey and stuff like that with more netherrack brick. So I think at this point I decided that my main theme was going to be netherrack brick and grey stone brick. So they're 2 contrasting colours that I was talking about earlier. And obviously here goes the sun behind the building. More rain, fantastic. There are points, I think this point I'd made a mistake and I was fixing it because the wall was slightly out of alignment. That tends to happen quite a lot. The issue with building something like this is the easiest way to build it in my mind is to make it an odd number wide. So for example, I think between the 2 towers it's like 27 blocks wide or something like that. Okay, now we're at the back of the palace or the cathedral towers, and we're adding in an archway. So I think eventually this archway will be an interior part of the building. It won't be on the exterior, it'll be an interior part. So I'm adding it in kind of for reference to sort of see where things can go, and I'm trying to, in my head I'm planning on where the roof line for this part of the tower would be, so that I can then build the bit above it. I've added in the wooden oak floor. and then copied the pillar over to the other side of the inside of the tower. So there's two sides of the tower that are going to be exterior facing and two sides of the tower that are interior facing. So I've put arches on the interior and walls on the exterior. So yeah, there seems to be clips in this missing, which I'm going to have to sort of either find or I don't know, but there's bits missing from it, and that's that. So there we go, I'm adding in the next level. When I started building this wall, I've immediately gone in, I need to make it look pretty straight away. So I've tried to use some sort of pattern between the netherrack and stone bricks, and then when I've come up with an idea, I've then finished it off by copying and pasting in, obviously, more stone brick with world edit, which I think is /set98 between the 2 points you select. For stone brick. Netherrack I don't work out, I tend to go back in and add that manually, because I'm not adding in as much of the netherrack as I am, say, the stone brick. The stone brick is the main building material for this entire cathedral. Now, with this cathedral, obviously the stone brick you could actually make from a cobblestone fabricator, so it is entirely possible to make this building vanilla without having to go mining massively. Now, I've then copied the archway across to the other side, along with the floor and the wall, and all that kind of stuff, and also the windows. And I think here I've had an issue with some measurements that aren't working out, so I'm trying to work out what's happened with my copy and paste issue and go back and fix them. This is something you've got to be careful of as well. So when you copy and paste stuff from one side to the other and reflect it, it doesn't always quite work, because it doesn't really rotate around your point where you stand and copy. It rotates the whole thing, so you have to rotate yourself as well when you go to paste it. So always remember that when you're rotating something in the clipboard, you have to rotate yourself when pasting it, so keep that in mind when using it, because it can throw you off a little bit, which it did there. Now I'm just flying around making sure everything's okay, realigning stuff, trying to fix things, realizing that I made a mistake. One tower is slightly bigger on one side than the other side, and this is why I'm drawing lines of stone across the floor and things, trying to get everything to fit properly. If I make a mistake now, it's going to affect the entire build later down the line, and it's all going to be out of proportion, and it's going to be more work for me to try and fix it. So if I fix it now, it's better. Here I'm starting to build the main central peak of the building. So I wanted this to be quite tall and narrow, which when I did this originally on this first go now, I kind of decided that it was too small. I think at some point soon I sort of decide, okay, this is not tall enough, it needs to be higher, which also plays into a decision I make further down the line. And obviously I've gone back here and I've added in these sort of like weird H things across the front. This is me trying to do more decoration and make a bit more effort into my build than I have before. Here's the window, and obviously I've got to this point here and the window's too big, so I've had to come back and try and get it to fit again, and then remove it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this window. I'll probably have to come back later in the build, on the next build session, and sort of work out something. It's quite difficult to try and time-lapse stuff and also build on the spot, because you kind of have to think really quickly and make decisions to keep the video going, otherwise it doesn't work. And then here I realised I made a mistake, so I'm trying to fix this mistake, which is what I was saying again earlier. Fix a mistake now so I don't have to try and fix it later down the line. So there was something wrong with the window, and the tower was one block out or something like that, or something was a block out, and I couldn't work it out, so I keep copying and pasting the tower back and forth trying to fix it, which was really, really difficult to do. Then I realised what it was and managed to get it to work, and it almost worked, I think. So what I ended up doing was copy one half of the roof and then flipping it and pasting it in, and then there I moved the roof higher because I didn't like the height, and then I also moved it back to give me some more detail. Now we start work on the side of the actual building. So this is the main long part of the cathedral. So obviously up there I've brought round the level of the platform of the stairs out front, round the side, because it's going to go the whole way around the building once it's finished, so it'll give the building more stature and height it makes the building look taller, but the building isn't really taller. It's just raised up. I've decided to do a window here, so I've continued the theme with the windows from the front to the side as well, just to keep it uniform. It's like basically in theme of the building. I've also started in to try and work out my roof line, because I want the roof to go up, so the wall to go up, roof in, up, with wall, then roof in again, and maybe up again, and then more roof. So there's 3 sets of roof on this building. I seem to have failed on this by hiding the camera arm quite badly here. So obviously I'm copying and pasting the roof over and over again to try and just speed things up a little bit, and trying to keep some sort of decoration into the wall, because otherwise it's going to look boring. Why would we want to have a boring building? It's a cathedral, it's stature, it's wealth, that's the idea of it. So in theory, we could build an entire city around this cathedral, which is something I was thinking of doing, possibly in the future. Let me know if you think I should do that in the comments down below, because that would be cool. Anyway, it's really difficult to talk this much, especially when you're not trying to play the game at the same time. So now I'm sort of working out these sort of decorative, I can't speak, these decorative sort of pillars and the windows and the window alignment, and trying to get everything to fit and sort of make sense. I couldn't quite make my mind up or get it quite right, so I kept on trying and trying and trying. And now I finally decided on I found something that works, so I add in more roof. I then copy the window again and again and again, and sort of do it again. Now the hardest part for me in this session was these second tier of windows. They were really difficult to try and get right, because I was trying to make it not the same height as the bottom set of windows, somewhere in between, like sort of halfway or slightly above halfway, because I didn't want to use the whole height that I'd given myself to meet the second tier of roof, because I wanted another level of windows, I wanted 3 sets of windows. So that was a bit difficult. And as you can see, I've gone in, found some windows, didn't like them, gone back, and I think here I've either redesigned them, or I've started to copy and paste them in to try and get them to fit, because I couldn't get them to fit. That's it. Yeah, I remember now. I couldn't get them to fit in the way that I wanted them to fit. So we're trying to do 2 windows on the second level per 1 window on the bottom, and it wasn't working. So what I ended up doing was designing a system of 1 window per window. So there's 1 window above another window. So for every window at the bottom is 1 window at the top. And that seems to work, which is what I'm doing here. I'm building that window to try and get the right sort of line up, because if it's 2 windows, it's kind of off if you can't get it symmetrical, and that's difficult to do that when you have an even number of things, blocks, and you're trying to fit 2 odd number windows with an odd number gap in the middle. It doesn't line up. So it was always 1 block out of alignment, which is horribly annoying. And here I'm trying to make it sort of uniform with the stuff down below by adding in the repetitive pattern from below into the windows at the top, so it's all same uniform pattern thing. Then I've copied it in again, and I've continued the same pattern. So I don't know how many windows I've got here. I think I'm about sort of 8 to 12 windows here. Yeah, 8 to 12 windows there. So I've got about 12 windows fitted in. I've made a mistake and I've gone back in to fix it. Make sure it's all working and lined up. I didn't copy it quite right, so that's why on the end few windows I have gaps at the top and red netherrack brick missing, because I made a mistake like an idiot. So I'm going back in and filling that in. It's quite difficult actually, this bit, because now that I've got this sort of main facade of windows, I had to go back after I finished fixing the bits I missed to here's me failing again like an absolute moron with stuff, trying to set the camera up, copying and pasting the towers in along the bottom to get them to fit in the way that I wanted to do them. And then I think I went in to try and build up the towers for the second level, so where it connects with the little bridge things. I don't know what these little bridge things are called. I just call them bridge things. Or arches. The arches. Let's call them the arches. So the arches connect to the building. I think these columns on the outside is to help maintain structure to the cathedral, because obviously they didn't have building technology we have nowadays. So we had to sort of use technology that they had. And then I've gone and deleted bits from where I've copied it. Okay guys, so that's what I managed to build in the last week or so. It's probably been a bit longer than that. I actually spent a week building, but it's been like 3-4 weeks since I last put Let's Build out. Anyway, this is what I've built so far. Let us know down below in the comments what you think of my project so far, and whether you have any ideas or not. Put them in the comments. Tell me about them. Anyway guys, I will see you on the next installment. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time.